Fish swim, frogs croak. Lions, they eat antelope. It's in their nature. Just like how liberals mishandle military procurement every time they are involved. Now the Navy is running out of parts for their rust bucket submarines. Remember the Sea King helicopters? They were so old that they were falling out of the sky and killing servicemen, and yet the Liberals would not replace them for the military. The Liberals actually canceled the replacement contract to replace the Sea Kings back in the 90s and paid $500 million in penalties because of it. Then there was the recent procurement of 25 retired F-18s from Australia to replace the aging CF-18. As in, the Liberals bought a similar model of jet to replace some of our own aging fleet, and now the Liberals are pouring money into them, $500 million to keep them in the air for just 10 more years instead of, joining with our NATO military partners when they all procured the F-35. Then, of course, there were the Victoria-class submarines, 4 used subs bought from the UK by the Liberals that have been a money pit ever since. Now, earlier this year, we learned that in 2019, the subs spent no time at sea at all. Look at this from the CBC last month. All 4 of Canada's submarines were tied up, last year for repairs and maintenance. News that has the opposition Conservatives questioning whether the Liberal government can keep the second-hand fleet afloat for another 2 decades. In response to a written question before Parliament, the Department of National Defence said the boats spent 0 days at sea in 2019, but 3 of the 4 would return to service at some point this year. But the situation around those rust bucket used British submarines is even worse than first reported. Blacklock's reporter broke the news yesterday and then sent me down a lengthy maritime military audit rabbit hole. Let me show you this. This is the Blacklock story on the Evaluation of Ready Naval Forces report. And it's one heck of an indictment of the Liberals' choice of those used piles of scrap steel so many years ago, and how today's Liberals are continuing their party's anti-military legacy by wasting valuable military resources on subs that should probably have been sent to the car crusher. Parliament in 1995, that was the Liberals again, by the way, voted $750 million to buy the 4 used submarines from the UK. HMCS Chicoutimi subsequently caught fire, killing a crewman. The fire, quote, placed the boat out of service for 9 years, wrote auditors. Another sub, the HMCS Brook, knocked a 2-meter hole in its bow when it ran aground on maneuvers off the British Columbia coast in 2011. The accident, quote, removed it from service for 7 years, said the report. Of the remaining subs, the HMCS Victoria spent 0 days at sea last year with maintenance bills of $48.4 million since 2018. The HMCS Windsor spent 0 days at sea with 2-year maintenance bills of $37 million. Now, this is the audit mentioned by that Blacklock's article, which I read last night, because this is what social distancing looks like for me in the middle of a pandemic while there's still too much snow to get out to my home archery lane. I just read more government reports. Anyway, on page 7, we can see the challenges of naval readiness. There are ongoing refit issues with the submarines and serviceability issues related to those 2 crashes. What do they mean by refit issues? Those refit issues are actually detailed on page 25. Look at this. The Navy has had sufficient national procurement funds to meet spare part demands. However, the obsolescence of certain ship and submarine systems has made it difficult to obtain some parts. The auditors are saying the fleet is so old that the military cannot find parts for them anymore. Now let's go back to that Blacklock's article for a second, because in their reporting, they have the full cost to repair those subs over just 3 years, and it is shocking. Minister Sajjan said total cost to refit and repair the 4 submarines in the period from 2018 to 2021 are $1.31 billion. A defense investment plan put ongoing refits at as much as $5 billion into the mid-2030s. Repairs will see all but one sub, the Chicoutimi, remain in dry dock again this year. Every time the Liberals are in power, without fail, our military falls into a decade of darkness. Our soldiers are told they are asking for more than the Liberals are willing to give, while the world and every single social justice cause out there is asking for just the right amount from Justin Trudeau. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. We hold the Liberals to account in ways that you won't see done by the mainstream media. Now, one of the best ways to help people find us is to like and share this video. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and ring the bell to make sure that you never miss a video. And if you like what we do, why not consider becoming a subscriber to Rebel News Plus? That's what we call our premium long-form TV-style shows here on Rebel News. You can become a subscriber to Rebel News Plus by going to rebelnews.com/subscribe.